February 10th, will we get the official announcement? That's a great question and the major concern that I want to discuss right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now February 10th is a very important day where we must get the official announcement. If we don't, it is then too late, and I want to describe what that means because this directly impacts millions upon millions of low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. Therefore, it is something that we need to focus on and describe in greater detail. So let's get into it and discuss what's going on. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything showing up you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward. And also remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. Alright, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about February 10th and the big announcement that we are waiting for, and if we don't get it, why it is too late. And honestly, if we don't get this announcement, it's actually kind of a good thing, okay? So when do we wait for an announcement to come out, and if it doesn't arrive, we actually think, great, this is actually kind of good that they did not give us this announcement? Well, it's not all that often, and this is the case in which if we don't get this announcement, it's actually kind of a good thing, and I do want to describe that in greater detail. All right, so here's what it all comes down to. The Public Health Emergency Declaration. Now, I've talked about this a few times here over the last several years because this is something we've been watching very, very closely. Now, here's what it comes down to. Back in mid-January, we got the extension out of the Secretary of HHS, Health and Human Services. The Secretary came out and announced another 90-day extension to the Public Health Emergency Declaration out until mid-April. Okay, sounds good, but why are we talking about February 10th? February 10th is the day in which they need to give us the announcement if it is going to be canceled and or expired as of that date in April, so in mid-April. This would be the 60-day notice. So remember, they've been telling us for all this time now, for a couple years now, they've been telling us we're going to give you a 60-day notice prior to expiration or prior to cancellation. Well, guess what? February 10th is the 60-day notice. So just like a 30-minute notice or something like this that we hear about other things, this is a 60-day notice, okay? So they've told us time and time again they will give us a 60-day notice on this. Well, this 60-day comes down to February 10th, okay? So it's very important to watch this because if they do not give us a notice on, well, I should say this much, on or before February 10th, that is actually kind of a good thing for the low income and fixed income, which again, I'll share those details here in just a second. But if they do come forward sometime on or before the 10th of February and say it's going to be expired and or canceled on, on that date in mid-April, well then that's kind of a problem. Now again, we do know that at some point they will be canceling and or allowing this to expire, but they have been continuously extending this out. We've known for the last couple years here, they continue to extend this out time and time and time again. And again, it was no surprise, a few weeks ago back in mid-January when they came out and actually they announced the extension on this. It was not a surprise at all. We anticipated and we knew that they were going to come out and do this, okay? Now again, that's why I'm watching February 10th so incredibly closely right now, because this is the official date in which they must give us that 60-day notice. If they don't, we can anticipate it'll likely be extended out yet again in mid-April, probably for another 90-day extension. But we won't know that until we get closer to that time in mid-April when the actual expiration comes in. Now remember, I've talked about this before, but let me hit on this really, really quickly here. Remember, the Public Health Emergency Declaration, it is what is allowing all the states across the country right now to send out the extra allotment in SNAP benefits, otherwise known as food stamps, for about 20 plus million beneficiaries. It also allows all the millions upon millions of beneficiaries to continue to be enrolled in Medicaid without risk of being actually removed from the Medicaid program. Remember, as of right now, there are well over 100 million people enrolled in Medicaid all across the country. So And because of that, because of the public health emergency declaration being in place, is what is allowing all these people to be enrolled in Medicaid. However, as soon as the public health emergency declaration does expire and or it's canceled, now the states need to go through their roles and start purging people off of Medicaid who may not possibly be eligible. According to the statistics and according to what I'm seeing, I've seen a number of different predictions out there, but the numbers range basically anywhere from about 4.6 to 15.3 to even 21 to 25 million people could be removed. Now again, that's a huge swing. I mean, anywhere between 4.6 to virtually 25 million people, that's a huge range right there, right? That's about a range of, say, what, 21 million people? I get it, that's a lot. But the fact is, this is what the reports are now showing. Up to, according to these reports, roughly 25 million people could potentially be on essentially the chopping block of losing Medicaid, okay? Not cool, right? That's a lot of people that could potentially be losing coverages virtually immediately. Well, that's a major problem that they have ahead of them. And when I say they, I'm talking about the administration. I'm talking about HHS. For them to come in and automatically purge, call it, say, 20 million people or even 15 million people or 25 million people off of Medicaid would not be a good situation. And again, do they want that? Do they want that reputation? I can tell you this much. No, they do not want that reputation, which is probably why they continue to push out the public health emergency declaration and why they continue to extend it, because they probably honestly have no clue on what to do about this, and they don't know what to do with all these tens of millions of people who are enrolled and maybe losing coverages. They do not want that reputation, right? It's a lot of people to automatically lose coverages very quickly like that, and they don't want to be known for that, okay? So just saying, this is what's going on here, okay? So when it comes down to it, the public health emergency declaration is still in place as of right now and set to be in place here for the next couple months, but we have a looming date here coming up very quickly, again, February 10th, that we need to watch very closely, because if we do not get that announcement, that means that the public health emergency declaration will likely be extended yet again beyond April, probably for another 90 days at that time. But again, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But between now and the end of the day on the 10th of February, this is something we got to continue watching, because this is the announcement that we need to watch for. But at the end of the day, a lot of low-income and fixed income beneficiaries probably do not want this announcement. And again, remember, once the public health emergency declaration expires, then all the states out there right now that are sending out the extra allotment in SNAP benefits will no longer be able to do that. So that would mean that the extra allotment would be stopping at that point, okay? So remember, if you're somebody that is encompassed within the roughly 20 million people getting the extra allotment, you probably want that to continue. Well, yeah, everybody wants that to continue, right? Because once that is removed, it simply means your benefits would be reduced by kind of a substantial margin. If you're already receiving the maximum household allotment, that means that you're probably getting the extra $95 on top of it if you are located within one of the states that is sending it out. However, if you're already if you're not receiving the total, that means that because of this public health emergency declaration being in place, they can bump your benefits up to the maximum allotment for your household size. Okay, so it could potentially mean a lot of extra money being removed out of your SNAP benefits because of the expiration. Again, not a good thing, right? Especially as we all know, food prices are still very, very high right now. So it's a very complicated topic. I know it seems very easy, and it is. It's very easy, at face value. But when we break it down and look into the details of what this would actually cause and the ramifications of this being canceled and or expired, it's not good. And it impacts, call it 40 million people. That's a lot of people, right? It's a lot of people there that it would impact. So anyway, I'll continue watching this very closely as we get closer to this and as we approach the expiration dates and or the final dates here for the announcement on this. Of course, I'll continue to bring it to your attention, and I will watch all these details very, very closely. As I hear anything out of them, of course, I'll bring it to your attention. And even if we do not get any announcement out of them, again, I'll bring that to your attention as well, because that's kind of a good thing as well. So either way, I'll continue to watch all the details as I get any more information out of the administration or HHS or all the list of states coming out with the extra allotment or anything else like that. Of course, I'll bring it to your attention right away. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. Leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below, and I'll do my best to continue answering them or make dedicated videos as I see fit. All right, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next